Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my new permanent setup. If you're subscribed to this channel, you probably know that by day, I'm a data scientist that works in a FANG company in tech. And by night, and pretty much all the times that are not during work hours, I do all my other stuff, including YouTube, courses, and trading. It can definitely get a little bit overwhelming at times, but I always make time to learn new things. Some of you guys may also know that I have a second channel called Study with Tina. This is where I live stream myself studying on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 6:30 until 8:30 a.m. Pacific time before I start working my day job. Every once in a while, I get a question popping up asking me, why is it that you still study even though you already have a job? And I think that's actually a really good question. A lot of people know that learning new things is good, right? Like you get really famous people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all these people are talking about how they learn lots and lots of new things and how it's been really, really important for them, but they don't really talk about why exactly it is important. I think there's so many different reasons why learning new things is so good for you. In this video, I'm going to talk about why it's been so beneficial to me and talk about how I manage to do this despite having such a hectic schedule sometimes. The first reason why I think learning new things is so beneficial to me is because I believe in creating my own happiness. Back in college and even my master's degree, I was super obsessed with finding my dream job. I talk a little bit more about it in this video over here, which I'll link above. But what I basically did was I read a lot of books, a lot of self-help books, watched a lot of videos, just did a lot of soul searching because I wanted to find this dream job, something that I could put all my ambition and passion into. And I did that for quite a while until I finally realized that there is no dream job. Like it doesn't actually make sense to have a dream job, because why would there be a dream job that exactly matches the way that you are? The world doesn't operate based upon what you want, unfortunately. And that's when I realized that I needed to create my own happiness in my career. I needed to figure out like what are the things that I like doing so that altogether, I feel really fulfilled and I'm able to satisfy all the different passions and aspects that I have in life. And for me right now, at least, it's a combination of having a day job in data science and tech, and also doing YouTube, doing courses, doing trading, all these things on the side as well. And altogether, it makes me really happy. So how does learning new things fit into this? Well, it's because life doesn't give you that perfectly packaged dream job. It means that you need to design your own lifestyle that makes you happy. And they don't teach you that at school. For example, like for me, I want to do my day job, but I also have to run a business on the side. And a big component of that is learning how to be financially literate. There's also other components to learn, like still financially related, accounting, for example, how to actually run a business. And the second thing about this lifestyle design is that you need to experiment and try out learning new things so you can actually figure out what you enjoy doing. Like for me, I started to learn how to trade because I thought that was something that I might be interested in. And then I realized, hey, like I actually kind of like this. So it's only by experimenting and learning things that they don't teach you in school, you're able to figure out what actually makes you happy, and you can incorporate that into your career and into your lifestyle. So this is the first reason why I think learning has been so beneficial to me. Second reason why I think learning new things is so beneficial is that skill sets tend to complement each other, even skill sets that seem extremely different from each other. Let me give you an example. My undergraduate was in pharmacology, which is the study of drugs. And then I transitioned into bioinformatics and I did my master's in computer science. Now as a data scientist, I actually use a significant amount of what I learned in pharmacology and in the sciences, as well as my master's degree in my day-to-day job. This is obviously not by design. I wasn't like, I'm going to do pharmacology and then I'm going to do computer science and then I'm going to become a data scientist. Like it didn't really work like that. But standing where I am now, I really see how those skill sets complement each other, and I think it has made me a better data scientist because of it. For my pharmacology undergrad, I learned how to be very critical when reading papers, scientific papers. Also, I learned how to do statistics, experiment design, and the scientific method. And for my computer science background, I learned how to code well, how to design programs, and also how to implement well. And another example too, then YouTube came along. YouTube seems so dramatically different from both computer science and science, right? But YouTube actually has taught me so much that I think has also made me better as a data scientist and at my job. For example, it taught me about time management, it taught me about discipline. I think I've become a more powerful speaker because of it. My ability to present is also much better because of YouTube. And I think overall that has made me much stronger at my job. Now, not to mention because of the whole YouTube business side of things, I think I have an advantage because as a data scientist, I also have a better understanding of how businesses work. And I think it also works the other way around. By being a data scientist, I like to think at least that in my YouTube journey, I'm able to be more logical in understanding what is it that does well on my channel, what is it that you guys want to watch, what you guys don't want to watch, and then be able to deliver that hopefully to make sure that you guys enjoy the stuff that I create. I can give more examples about data science and trading and how that interacts as well. But I think you guys get the point. The point that I'm trying to make is just that divergent skill sets do complement each other and actually make each other stronger. And that actually reminds me of a talk that Steve Jobs did. He talks about how he took a typography class in college, and he talks about how because of that typography class, it actually formed a foundation for Apple's success because he was able to make Apple's products so much more aesthetic because of what he learned in class. And obviously he didn't know that at that time, but it's another example showing how divergent skill sets can really converge to make something really, really magical. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. The third reason why I think learning new things is so beneficial is because I think in the information age that we live in right now, learning efficiently and effectively is a valuable skill set in itself. We're in the information age now, and that means that there's information absolutely everywhere, and overwhelmingly so actually. And in my opinion, what puts you ahead isn't how much knowledge that you know these days. It's actually more your ability of distilling and synthesizing information to what is most important, learning those skill sets, and then being able to use those skill sets to make whatever it is that you do better. Let me give you an example. So if you're a data scientist or a software engineer, there's just so much stuff that's constantly coming out. Like I feel like every single week there's a new announcement of some new tech that's coming out, a new tool that somebody built, and it's just absolutely insane. Like I absolutely love it, but it's also absolutely insane because of the speed that innovation happens. And part of your job as a data scientist or a software engineer is to actually first figure out what is it that's worth learning, and then learning them so that you can become better and better as a data scientist, as a software engineer, so you can do your job more effectively and more efficiently. I think one of the most defining things about a really good technical person is their ability of learning new things very quickly and effectively, and then having that really large toolkit so they're very flexible and fast in problem solving. Personally, I'm still pretty junior in my career, so I'm not saying that, I'm like super effective and good at learning these things. I think I'm on the right track, because I've been developing this learning habit for much longer now. I do find that I tend to learn things more quickly than other people just because of how much experience I've had learning new things. And now when I see something, I might not know how to do it, but I feel very confident that I can figure out how to do it and I can figure out how to learn it. So number 4, or more like 3.5, as to why I think learning new things is so beneficial to me is because it just makes me feel really happy and fulfilled. This might just be a personality trait of mine, and I honestly don't know why it is, but there's this quote from Ayn Rand that really resonates with me. The purpose of a bird is to fly, the purpose of a cat is to hunt, and the purpose of man is to learn and to create. I just find that when I just do learning, that doesn't really make me feel very happy, and I don't really feel fulfilled. When I'm just creating stuff, I tend to not create very good things because I don't have anything that I learned in order to incorporate into whatever it is that I'm trying to create. By learning new things and then synthesizing that, distilling that, and then creating something out of it, I just feel really fulfilled doing that. All right, next section, I'm going to talk about how I managed to incorporate this habit into my life despite life being very chaotic sometimes. I would say that in terms of consistency, I would be at like 99% at this point in terms of just being able to consistently learn new things. That 1% was because I took some breaks when I was sick and when I was moving. Just wanted to add a little bit of a disclaimer that this is just what works for me. I do have a little bit of a theory about how to figure out how to make it work for you as well, so you consistently learn. But that I think is like a video in itself. So if you're interested in that video, do let me know in the comments, and I will be very, very happy to make that video because learning new things is such a big passion of mine. But yeah, for me though, the TLDR version is basically 3 components, right? That I think is the reason how I managed to establish this learning habit. The first one is that I know what pushes my buttons, like what really triggers me. The second reason is that I developed a correct mindset over time. And the third reason is that I have an amazing community of people that I learn with. So I'm not doing it alone. So what exactly do I do? I mentioned this earlier, but what I do is I do my live streams, right? On my Study with Tina channel, I live stream Monday, Tuesday, and Friday for 2 hours on each of those days before work. And I kid you not, when I stopped live streaming, everything just went down the drain. I was like a potato that was just laying in bed and not doing anything. So the live streams deserve like 100% of the credit as to how being able to maintain this habit. So let me explain why this works for me. So the first component is pushing my buttons, right? Like knowing what pushes my buttons. What really, really pushes my buttons is social accountability. Like to me, if I say I'm gonna do something, especially if it's like a big promise that could disappoint other people and affect other people, then I feel extremely compelled to go and do it. So this social social accountability is baked into live streaming because I post when I'm going to live stream, right? And people will come because they know that I'm going to be live streaming. So if I don't show up, that's going to be disruptive to other people's lives. So even when I really don't feel like doing it, that social accountability gets me out of bed and forces me to go and live stream. The second thing is mindset. My goal during these live streams is not to be like as productive as possible, you know, to smash every single live stream session and just like learn things as fast and quickly as possible. It's honestly just to show up. Like that's literally the standard. If I show up, I consider that a win for myself because I understand that there's going to be good days and bad days. It's more about building that habit. So when you have bad days, you can lift yourself up. And when you have good days, you feel confident so you can go even further. So that's it in terms of mindset. Like I don't beat myself up if I'm not able to concentrate or for a live stream session. It's happened all the time, especially when like I don't feel well or, you know, whatever. It just happens all the time when I just can't concentrate, but I sit there and I do it. And then I consider myself very proud of myself when I do it because I know the habit will take care of itself. And it has. Third component is the people, in which if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go with other people. And I really, really believe in this. The community that we have during the Study with Tina live streams are just amazing. Like I love you guys so much, or anybody that's watching right now. We have a scoreboard system in which we track each other's progress and keep each other accountable. So even though people are working on different things, we can actually track each other's progress and just, you know, lift each other up so that we can keep pushing through it even when we don't feel like it. Without this community, there would have just been no way I could have sustained this habit. So there you go. In a nutshell, this is how I've implemented learning new things into my life. For you, if you are now convinced that learning new things is super important and you want to also incorporate it into your life, I think it does take some introspection, which, you know, I can go into more detail about in a separate video, but it does take some introspection to figure out what it is that pushes your buttons, as well as what the correct mindset is. But I'm just gonna plug the Study with Tina community because I think this community is awesome. And if you're looking for a community in order to keep you accountable and to keep going with it, you should join us from 6:30 until 8:30 a.m. PST. And I've gotten this question a few times, so just to be extra clear, yes, it is free. It's completely free. It's just a community. It's just each of us supporting each other while we're studying and trying to become better versions of ourselves. All right, I've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching all this way. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next live stream or video.